where should firms begin this journey of trying to become more efficient in terms of workflow?
I think somewhere, anywhere, would be the most important thing. And some firms might start at an easy place, and an easy place to start is the phone answered in a consistent manner each and every time? And that might be the first one that a firm ticks off the list. I think another great place to start is actually building a list of processes to document. But just to get a bit of forward momentum, it might be, how is the phone answered? Because a lot of firms, the phone will be answered in a different manner depending on who picks up the phone. And if we're thinking about consistent outputs and a consistent customer experience, consistent client experience, then how that first impression of how the phone is answered might be the perfect place to start. So either an easy one, so how's the phone answered? Build the list of the processes that you want to document, and then maybe just look at some of your own internal processes. So maybe start activities, and once we've looked at how we do it ourselves, then we can look at what does that mean in terms of doing it for our clients. So that would be my advice. Start where it's easy, and then just get a bit of forward momentum, and before you know it, there'll be 5, 6, 7 processes documented, and you'll be looking for the next one.
Yeah, I love the point of, I think it's so easy for a term that can often feel so abstract to overthink the implementation. And I warned everybody beforehand that sometimes if the audio levels go out because we're trying to run so many things with the summit, I might turn off my webcam for the quality and the delay issues. But I love your point on not overthinking it and looking at either a list of, these are things we do want to put a process around, or starting very, very small and building momentum, because I think that's so powerful. Jeff, have you seen a similar mindset when you work with firms on process optimization, or kind of where to guide them on what's the first step to get started?
Absolutely, David. I think most accountants, being accountants, there's a certain tendency to perfectionism and over-analysis, and somehow we can't get started until we've got a perfect plan in place. And I'm going to second Damien's comment. The best place to start is to start. What I recommend people do, and what I do with my coaching clients, is we do a high-level. We map out areas where we feel we need processes. So, we sort of trace the client experience from the first point of contact right through until we get them completed for the current year, and then we're attempting to reinitialize the sequence next year. But what we usually do is we break that into areas like client onboarding, client acceptance. We go through the various areas and pick one area at a time, and usually what we do is just document how things are at the moment, and then we go through and we identify where the pain is and where our bottlenecks are occurring, and then from there we can start to make those best practices. Absolutely, checklists are critical. I'm not a fan of the policy and procedure manual that is written once and nobody reads it again. So personally, I like to do a lot of video. So believe it or not, YouTube is a great tool that I use where you can create video. So have people talk themselves through what their tasks are. Just something simple like put a headset on and talk. And you can hire a virtual assistant to turn that into flowcharts and get into the perfectionism of it after you've got it sort of out there. And we all think and talk faster than we can write, so if you just describe how you think it should be, there are people out there that you can hire to on a project basis to create those beautiful flow charts and bring us that perfection.